Hello everyone, welcome back to Dugout Daily. I'm Charlie and today we have another video. This time we are previewing the 191st Manchester Derby, which takes place on Sunday afternoon as fans will flock to Old Trafford in mass as Manchester United butt heads with noisy neighbours Manchester City. Before we get going, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Dugout Daily, the football channel, hit the Apex F1 channel, and at MCFC Hibs on Twitter. We'll get going then, and both teams entered a highly anticipated battle on the back of Champions League victories as the Red Devils sunk Copenhagen 1-0, while the reigning European champions overcame Young Boys 3-1. Manchester United's first home fixture since the death of the legendary Sir Bobby Charlton, the Red Devils and Copenhagen fans stood as one during a moving pre-game tribute to the 1966 World Cup winner, whose passing and legacy will also be marked by moments of remembrance across the country this weekend. Erik ten Hag's men needed to rely on a Diogo Dalot stunner to see off Sheffield United in their most recent Premier League game before the visit of the Danish champions, and owing to a similarly toothless attacking display, members of the rearguard were required to save the day again. Harry Maguire's second half header and a stoppage time penalty save from the under fire Andre Onana saw Manchester United make it third time lucky in the top tier of European football, and Ten Hag's side have now strung together a 3-game winning sequence for the first time in the 23-24 season, although not one of those victories have been convincing by any stretch. Nevertheless, by holding off the threat of Sheffield United and Brentford in their last two Premier League contests, Manchester United have surged up to 8th in the Premier League table with 15 points, although a 5-point gap still separates them from Liverpool in the final Champions League position. Only Southampton and Crystal Palace have prevented Manchester United from scoring in a Premier League home game since the start of the 22-23 season, but the stingy Red Devils' defence remain without a top-flight clean sheet at Old Trafford this season, music to the ears of Manchester City. Ending a European goal drought stretching all the way back to April, Haaland quickly rediscovered his golden Champions League touch when Manchester City continued the defence of our crown against Young Boys, who held out for the first 45 minutes before Manuel Akanji bundled home early in the second half. Switzerland international Akanji's goal on home soil was quickly wiped out by a stunning lobbed effort from Meshak Elia, but Haaland proceeded to snap a 5-game run without a Champions League goal from the penalty spot before completing his brace with an arrowed finish into the top corner. Remaining unblemished in European football this season, Pep Guardiola's treble winners also avoided an unfathomable third successive Premier League defeat last weekend, edging out Brighton by 2-1 to remain on the coattails of leaders Tottenham, who have now gone 5 points clear with victory over Crystal Palace on Friday night. The stats don't weigh heavily in the visitors' favour, as Manchester City have now gone 6 games without keeping a clean sheet in all competitions, and are now at risk of losing 3 consecutive Premier League matches for the first time in the Guardiola era, and were at risk, of losing 3 consecutive Premier League matches for the first time in the Guardiola era. Not since the Manuel Pellegrini days of 2016 have we endured such a barren run in the top flight. An unwanted record for the Catalonian coach is not beyond the realm of possibility, as Manchester United came up triumphs 2-1 in this fixture back in January, but Manchester City quickly completed our revenge mission in the FA Cup final, en route to joining the bitter adversaries in English football's exclusive treble club. So in their last 6 Premier League games, Manchester United have had 2 defeats, a win, a loss, and 2 wins, and their form in the last 6 in all competitions is a win, 2 defeats, and 3 wins. Manchester City's Premier League form in our last 6 league games are 3 wins, 2 defeats and a win, and our form in our last 6 in all competitions is 2 defeats, a win, a loss and 2 wins. The Manchester United infirmary is slowly but surely emptying, although Ten Hag still has a handful of long-term absentees unavailable, including Lisandro Martinez with a foot injury, Luke Shaw with a muscle injury, Amad Diallo with a knee injury, and Tyrone Malacia also with a knee injury, while Jadon Sancho's exile doesn't appear to be ending anytime soon. However, there's quiet optimism that Casemiro will be able to return to the engine room as he battles back from the knock he sustained on Brazil international duty, while Aaron Wan-Bissaka is also on the verge of a return from a thigh problem, but will surely only make the bench at best. While most of the starters from Tuesday evening should be rewarded here, Sofyan Amrabat only lasted 45 minutes before being sacrificed for Christian Eriksen, who's made his case to partner Casemiro or Scott McTominay from the first whistle in the derby. On the back of returning to Swiss soil with a goal, Manchester City defender Akanji will now be brought crashing back down to earth as the ex-Borussia Dortmund man was sent off for 2 bookable offences against Brighton and will therefore sit out the derby through suspension. However, aside from the banned centre-back, whose absence should be covered by the returning John Stones, Kevin De Bruyne is the only other name on the champions absentee list, as the hamstring victim helplessly watches on from the sidelines once again. As well as Stones' expected comeback, the likes of Josko Vardy, Kyle Walker, Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden are also in line for returns to the Citizens 11, as in Argentinian hotshot Alvarez, who saw an 8th strike of the season ruled out at Stadion Wankdorf. So the predicted teams then, starting with Manchester United, we've gone with Onana in goal, a back four of Dalot, Varane, Maguire and Reguilon, with Casemiro and Eriksen in midfield, Antony, Fernandes and Rashford behind Højlund in attack. And the predicted team for Manchester City is Ederson in goal, Walker, Stones, Diaz and Vardy back four, with Rodri and Silva in midfield, Doku, Alvarez and Foden behind Haaland in attack. Even the most impassioned Manchester United supporters ought to admit that there has been an element of fortune to each of their last 3 victories, and continued shortcomings in the final third should prove to be their downfall in Sunday's tantalising derby. Manchester City have hardly been exemplary in defence this season, but even with a wall of red in the Old Trafford stands roaring them on, we can't envisage the hosts disjointed attack troubling Guardiola's side, who ought to earn both the bragging rights and 3 points from this weekend's headline match. So I predict Manchester United 0, Manchester City 1. So that is it for this video then. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Dugout Daily, the football channel. Hit the Apex F1 channel and at MCFC Hibs on Twitter. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching and we'll speak to you all soon. Take care.